The MotoGP world was shocked again after the 2025 Austrian Grand Prix when legendary two-time world champion Casey Stoner made a shocking statement aimed directly at Marc Márquez. Marquez's extraordinary performance at the Red Bull Ring silenced his rivals and forced Stoner to speak out in admiration. The statement immediately shocked the public. What exactly impressed Stoner so much that he made such a shocking comment? Let's discuss it. The 2025 MotoGP season made extraordinary history once again. Marc Márquez, the gladiator from Spain, secured his 6th consecutive victory in his debut season with Ducati. The race at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, typically a setting for Ducati showdowns, instead became a showcase of Marquez's growing dominance. From the sprint session to the main race, Marquez was utterly dominant. Not only did he conquer the 4.3 kilometers track, he also shattered the expectations of many, especially Valentino Rossi, who witnessed his two best students, Francesco Bagnaia and Marco Bezzecchi, being toyed with and defeated by their eternal rival, Ducati legend Casey Stoner. Immediately commented on this consecutive victory, the Australian, who led Ducati to the 2007 World Championship, admitted he was amazed. "Honestly, I can hardly believe what Marc has done. In just his first year with Ducati, he's already dominating like this. 6 consecutive wins is no easy feat," Stoner said after the race. According to Stoner, Marquez's greatness lies not only in his speed, but also in how he controls the Ducati Desmosedici machine, once known for being difficult to control. Stoner had experienced the bike's harsh nature, but Marquez made it look tame. He's an old-school rider living in a new era. He doesn't rely too much on electronics. He reads the bike with his body, feels the grip of the tires, and controls it with instinct and extreme courage. That's what makes him different, Stoner added. Stoner even admitted that he doubted he would compete against Marquez in the same era. "If I were still racing, I might have a hard time competing against him. Marc has something special, a combination of courage, speed, and racing intelligence that's hard to match." The main race of the 2025 Austrian MotoGP was one of the most thrilling spectacles of the season. From the start, the tension was high. Marc Márquez, who started the race in 4th place, attacked immediately when the lights went out. True to form, he didn't wait long to put pressure on his rivals. Francesco Bagnaia was the first victim of Marquez's aggression. The 8th world champion patiently kept close to his teammate, looking for an opening at every corner. Finally, a clean but deadly maneuver forced Bagnaia to yield and lose his position. However, Marquez's biggest obstacle came from Marco Bezzecchi. From the start of the race, Bezzecchi performed fiercely, leading with a steady rhythm. The first few laps seemed to be his. The crowd at the Red Bull Ring believed that Bezzecchi could secure a big win for his team, but Marquez, with his experience, composure, and unmatched racing instincts, slowly closed the gap. Lap after lap, the pressure grew. Bezzecchi tried to maintain his pace, but Marquez's pressure was like a lingering shadow. As the final laps approached, the drama reached its peak. Marquez spotted a golden opportunity in one of the track's fastest sections. With his signature quick, sharp, and precise maneuver, he slipped past Bezzecchi. His rival barely had time to respond. As soon as he took the lead, Marquez stepped on the gas, leaving Bezzecchi behind with no second chance. From then on, Marquez's dominance was unstoppable. Like a lion who had just torn apart its prey, he rode untouched, securing a remarkable victory in Austria. Another surprise came from Fermin Aldeguer, who took 2nd place, leaving Bezzecchi in 3rd. Bagnaia suffered a tragic fate as his performance declined further and he was knocked out of the podium race. But behind Marquez's cheers of victory, another emotional drama unfolded that was no less attention-grabbing. Inside the garage, Valentino Rossi looked furious. The living MotoGP legend and mentor of the VR46 Academy couldn't hide his disappointment. His 2 golden boys, Bagnaia and Bezzecchi, 2 best students he had groomed to continue his legacy, had been toyed with by his eternal rival. Pecco and Bees were well positioned to win, but in the end, they couldn't stop Marc. "It hurts because I believed they were the 2 riders who could compete with him," Rossi said bitterly. For Rossi, this wasn't just an ordinary defeat. It felt like a betrayal of fate. The old wounds he'd carried since his heated rivalry with Marquez in Arling-y-Wool reopened. Now, even though he was retired and could only watch from the sidelines, Marquez's shadow still haunted him. The difference was that this time, it wasn't him who fell, but rather the students he was so proud of. Rossi looked devastated. He knew the MotoGP world was never easy, but seeing two of his protégés fall to their old rivals was a devastating blow to his pride. Anger, disappointment, and frustration all mixed together. At the Red Bull Ring, Marquez's victory wasn't just about earning world championship points. It was also a psychological victory that reaffirmed his supremacy on the track. Gigi D'Allegna, the general manager of Ducati course, felt both pride and confusion. This man, known for his cool and calculating approach, is usually able to analyze the situation with technical logic during every race weekend. But this time he was caught up in the euphoria too. He admitted that he could hardly believe Marquez's consistency in maintaining such a high level of performance since the start of the season. 6 consecutive wins is no easy feat, especially in this era of intense competition. I can hardly believe the way Marc controls the race. He always knows when to push, when to defend, and how to maximize the bike's potential. This is a proud achievement, not only for Marc, but also for Ducati, Gigi said with a mix of awe and relief. There was a striking irony behind those words. While Marquez dominated every lap with composure and confidence, Francesco Bagnaia, the reigning world champion and Ducati's main hope, was sinking deeper into a series of difficulties. Bagnaia's declining performance added to the larger puzzle. Within the Ducati camp, how could the same bike deliver a perfect victory for Marquez, yet be so difficult for the reigning world champion to control? It's a dilemma that now presents a major challenge for Ducati management. This victory in Austria added to Marquez's trophy collection and confirmed his status as the strongest contender for the 2025 MotoGP world title. His 6 consecutive wins in his debut season with Ducati symbolized the birth of a new era in which Marquez's dominance is shaping a new legendary story on the MotoGP stage. This achievement was more than just a statistical record. It created a strong emotional resonance in the paddock. Legends like Casey Stoner, the only rider to have led Ducati to the pinnacle of success, were not shy about expressing their appreciation. Stoner, once known as the King of Ducati, sees Marquez as a successor capable of continuing and even surpassing that great legacy. MotoGP seems to be undergoing a dramatic transformation. From Stoner, who made history in 2007, to Marquez, who is not only repeating his glory, but also doing so in a far more spectacular manner, dominating from the very first race, crushing any doubts and turning Ducati into an unstoppable weapon. In his hands, why is Marquez's victory at the Red Bull Ring considered one of the most thrilling performances of the season? Share your thoughts below.